Welcome back, everyone. I've got a good one for you today. So it's been a long time coming. I'm super pumped on this. Today, finally going to install my first duck. No, that's a lie. Actually, we're finally going to get down to it. Been collecting parts for about a year and a half, and it's finally time to get to the good stuff. Today, we're going to finally get after the suspension, driveline, steering, bunch of brackets that I'm going to weld on, and then some tires and wheels. I'm ready for this. I hope you guys are. Let's start taking this thing apart. One thing you want to make sure that you do before getting too far into the job is you want to lock out the steering wheel. If you pull the drag link off the steering box and the box turns, you can actually mess with the clock spring that's in the steering wheel. So it's not that difficult. Let me show you what I like to do. So grab your seat belt, pull it all the way out, and then feed the seatbelt through the steering wheel. Lock it in, and then pull the belt back in. Pardon the super sketch photo work here, but so that right there is going to keep the wheel from being able to turn that far. And it's real simple. And then when you're all done, you just release the seatbelt, drop back in, and you're all set. But again, very important to do to make sure that wheel doesn't go spinning like crazy and mess up your clock spring, because those things aren't cheap. So normally at this point you could start putting the links back together, start buttoning the suspension back up, but I've got more to do. So there's a couple pieces on the Artec kit that still need to go on, and they just kind of drop in. That one and that one. So just like with most everything Artec, the fit is just fantastic on it. So anyway, this is where these pieces are going to go. I'm going to mark the housing every place I'm going to need to weld so I can get everything cleaned down to bare metal, and then I can start burning that stuff in. I got the axle tube all cleaned off, every place that I'm going to be welding on the trusses there. One last thing I want to cut off is going to be the stock track bar and sway bar drop link bracket on the passenger side. These things are kind of thin, especially when you have some angle, especially when you start twisting them up. I've seen these things break multiple times. So I'm going to chop that off, clean it up, and we'll keep on moving. It took a bit, but I got the axle housing all prepped out, got everything sanded down, some weld through primer on there, and that part's good to go. Got all of my pieces that are going in here. I got some paint on the inside there because I won't be able to get to that later. So those things are all good to go. But you can see, got my primer on there. That thing's ready to go. Now let's tack them in and then start burning them on. So bigger tires always put more strain on the steering system, so you always want to make sure that you're beefing stuff up to help strengthen it. So a while back, I did the Apex Designs steering boost kit, added some more pressure to the system, so it's got a little bit more to help turn. The other thing I'm going to do is I actually got the Synergy steering box bracket, and what that's going to do is it's just going to tighten that into the frame a whole lot better, so it's not going to allow the box to deflect as everything's turning. Older Toyotas, older Chevys, they have issues where they'll actually rip the frame apart if you put big tires on there and you don't reinforce the frame at the steering box. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you're strengthening everything up. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to go hydro assist. because Hydro Assist is going to take roughly 50% of the load off of the steering box, off of the frame, and put it onto the ram itself. So it not only gives you more steering force, but it actually helps to alleviate the strain on a lot of the stock parts. So it's the best route to go. One day I may end up throwing a cylinder on this and drilling and tapping the box, but for right now I'm just going with that boost upgrade and strengthening up the frame. Everything's welded out, got everything prepped, cleaned up, taped off the couple of things that I didn't want to get paint on. Now I'm ready to squirt some paint on this thing. Primer first. Now the color coat. So now that all the boring and tedious work is taken care of, it's time to start throwing on the fun parts. And we got the shiny parts on this one. I've got the MetalCloak kit here. Went with the 3.5-inch Game Changer kit. Didn't want to go long arm just yet. May end up building my own link system. Who knows? We'll see what time tells. But for now, we're going with just the Game Changer kit. I've heard real good things about this as well as MetalCloak themselves, so I'm looking forward to getting them on and see what they do. I'm going to go ahead and start with my steering tie rod and drag link. Get my steering lock back down. Front end's all done. Now it's time to get going on the back end. Since we're going higher with the Jeep, I want to adjust the rear track bar bracket. I want to get that thing a little bit more flat if possible. So I ended up chopping off the factory one and I went with this Barnes one. So there's the factory one, got that chopped off the frame, got the frame all cleaned up. Here's the new Barnes one. It's a nice piece. It's adjustable, so it's got a couple different positions on it. And that should give me that added height that I need to keep that bar flat so that the Jeep rides nice. I decided to go with MetalCloak's rear link relocation brackets, and basically that just changes the link location where it mounts at the frame. So it changes the geometry, but it keeps the links flatter, allows them to travel a little bit smoother, and just gives you a little bit better ride. Now when you're putting in bigger springs, you have to get the axle to drop out far enough so that everything will fit. So one thing you have to do is you have to disconnect the parking brake cables. And then it's actually pretty simple. On this end of the Jeep, there's a little eyelet that it goes into on the backing plate. And with the parking brake not set, so there's a little bit of slack in the cable, you can actually just kind of pull on it and that'll pop right out. Next thing you want to do, grab a 14mm box end wrench, go over that whole cable, and you've got these 3 tangs that go around this piece back here. Just slide those all the way back, and they should compress those clips, and it pops it right out. We're on the home stretch. Now, just to get everything tightened up, and then I can slap the tire on it, and then it's time for a test drive. And it's kind of late, so I'm not using my impacts. So you just have to put those sounds in. Make it sound like I'm going really fast. One last thing. So initially I said I was going 37s. I didn't technically lie, because even though it says 38 on the side, they measure out to 37, so I still call that the same thing. And mounting heavy tires is no small feat. I mean, by all means they're bigger, but this right here is just how I like to do it. Let your legs do some of the work. Your arms do some of the work. Spread the love. Don't put that beating on one part of your body. Put it on the whole thing. So this go around, I got the MetalCloak kit on there. We got our KMC wheels. We got our Nitto tires on there. Got it looking pretty cool anyway, but still got some work to do there. Got some axle stuff left to do, a couple other parts as well. But let me know what you guys think. What kit do you like? What suspension kit are you running? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, give us a like, follow the channel. We'll catch you guys out there on the next one.